All right, we're gonna be finishing up our bears today, so we wanna go ahead and get out our pieces from last time. We should have kind of the face mostly done. You should have 2 larger rectangles that are the same color and 2 smaller squares that are the same color. We're gonna go ahead and get our ears made and also work on our paw, and we'll also be doing our shirt and kind of gluing it all together on the background. For the ears, we're gonna take one of your small squares, and we're gonna start by folding it in half. This is gonna be the shape that goes on the inside of the ears. So you're gonna take this paper. It doesn't really matter where you draw this shape. I'm gonna do it kind of at the open edge. That way when I cut it out, I get 2 separate pieces. So if you look at my square, I have kind of the open part at the bottom. And then starting at the bottom, I'm just gonna draw kind of a small semicircle, kind of a half circle, or even like an upside down U shape on that paper. Again, I'm gonna draw that shape, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out while it's folded. And again, if I cut it while it's folded, that's gonna give me 2 of the same shape. I'm gonna take one of these pieces. So I'm gonna take the one that has the pencil on it, and I'm gonna glue it to one of my bigger papers that I have left. Remember, if your piece is small, you wanna kind of have your glue stick stand up and just use your finger to move that on the glue stick. And I'm gonna put this glued down on my rectangle. The flat edge of my semicircle should be at the flat edge of my big paper, so just like that. Now I'm gonna take this paper and I'm gonna fold it in half so that this piece is on the outside. This is gonna be my guide. So I know that I need to draw another kind of semicircle line, not right next to this part. I wanna go a little bit outside of it so I kind of get this border. So I'm kind of going around that same shape, just like that. I'm gonna leave it shut while I cut, and that way I end up getting 2 of the same kind of shape. I have 1 ear that's done, and then all I have to do is glue this piece back on to that one. I don't want to glue these ears onto my bear just yet. I think it'll be easier to glue them onto the background paper, kind of a little bit behind my bear's head. So I'm just going to leave these 2 ears off to the side. Now I'm going to take my background paper that we made a couple weeks ago, and you are also going to get a tracer. So this is a piece of kind of poster board that I have already drawn your shirt shape for you. So you're gonna take that paper, you're gonna line it up, kind of whichever side you think you like the best, and you want this flat edge at the bottom to go across the bottom of your paper. You're gonna take your pencil and you're gonna simply kind of trace along the curved top edge. And there's also some little kind of shapes right here that show the arms, so you can also trace those 2 parts. And then you'll get a shape that looks like this. Once you have that, then you will take your scissors and simply cut on your lines. When you get to these parts, you're really kind of just cutting on one line up to the very top, and then cut on the other line up to the very top, just so that a little tiny sliver kind of falls out. So same thing here, cut onto one line, and then cut to the other line, just like that. You're gonna find the arm that has kind of the longer, skinnier line. And this one, you're gonna take the sleeve and you're gonna bend it up. It can kind of go either way. I'm gonna kind of go more up this way and then crease it. So our little bear is gonna be waving his little paw, so that's gonna be the sleeve where he's waving. You're gonna take that last kind of large rectangle sheet that you have, and you're gonna slide it kind of down until it can't go any further. From here, you don't want your paw to be quite as wide as your sleeve, maybe a little bit skinnier. And you're gonna draw another kind of semicircle up and around and back down to the sleeve so that it kind of fits inside of your sleeve. If you want to, you can also kind of trace along the edge of your shirt. That way you know kind of where your paw needs to go inside of. I can then take that out. I can see where I need to cut. So I'm gonna cut from the bottom. I'm not gonna cut on this line. I want it to be a little bit skinnier. So I'm just gonna kind of cut up and around and back down. And then this should kind of fit right inside my sleeve, just like that. I'm gonna fold this down and just kind of, maybe I'll do like a little line so I kind of know where I don't want to glue above. So I'm gonna put some glue below that line to get it into my shirt. And then I'll just take this, kind of slide it into place and just give it a little press. Now this last part can be a little bit tricky. We need to create some small circles that will fit inside to show kind of like that paw print of our bear. In order to do this, I'm gonna fold that paper that I have left in half, and I'm gonna draw some kind of smaller circles, probably more than I need, because sometimes I think it's easier to have a bunch to choose from. So I'm gonna do one, maybe kind of even like a little bit like an oval. That'll be kind of like this bottom paw print. And then I might even draw, maybe not right next to this one, kind of over here, some kind of smaller circles. And I'll just do my best to cut those out, and then I'll see kind of which ones fit the best. Got a bunch of little shapes now from cutting them out, and I can pick out which one I think works the best. Again, when I glue, I don't really want to see pencil, so I'll make sure I put the glue on that side. And if this is a really small piece, which it is, I'm just gonna kind of set it on top of my glue stick and do my best to kind of move it around with my finger so I don't get glue all over the table. Now it's time to get all of our pieces glued together to kind of finish up our collage. So the first thing you're gonna take is you're gonna take your shirt, and that's gonna go at the very bottom of your paper. So at the very bottom edge, not floating. We want it to be at the very bottom of your paper vertically. So I'll take my shirt, flip it over, spread a bunch of glue stick on the back, and then once I have a lot of glue on the back, I can flip it over and put it onto my background paper. So kind of on all the sleeves. And again, line it up at the bottom as best as you can. And then once I stick it, I like to kind of turn it over and flip it and give it that back massage. I think it's a lot easier to do it that way. Once you have your shirt glued down, then you can go ahead and get your head glued down. And again, it shouldn't be like right on the edge. You probably want it to come down over your shirt just a little bit. So I'll take my head, spread a decent amount of glue. Don't be afraid to really get some glue on there. That way your head's not gonna fall off later. And then again, I kind of take it, line it up where I want it to go. Again, it's hard to rub the front without ruining your pieces, so I kind of stick it, flip it, and give it a little back massage to really make those pieces stick. When it comes time to put the ears on, I like to kind of slide them behind the head just a little bit. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of my ear. And then again, I like to kind of tuck it behind that head just a little bit to kind of make it look a little bit more like it's a part of the actual head. The very last thing you'll have to do is add a mouth. So with a Sharpie, you'll take a line and draw it down from your nose and curve it, kind of like the letter J, and then the backwards letter J on the other side. And then you are finished.